G'day guys, welcome to the Unsealed 4x4 garage. I'm here with Ben from Drivetech 4x4 and he's going to show me a little trick that I just didn't even know existed. We're going to put some suspension in this Hilux without using a coil compressor. Now, how is that possible, Ben?
Mate, it's pretty simple. We'll go through step by step.
Yep.
But basically you can do it on most IFS vehicles.
Okay.
It's very safe, very easy, and I'll show you how today.
So it's not just for Hiluxes?
Not just for Hilux, you can do it on Tritons, Prados, you name it.
Brilliant, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
All right, Ben, so you've brought some really shiny looking gear here today. This is the best it's ever going to look, I reckon. Can you just run me through what we're going to be putting into this Hilux and just some features and benefits of the range here?
Yep, sure. Okay, so as you know, we're going to pull the OE struts out of the Hilux.
Yep.
The Drivetech 4x4 Enduro range, we've got two different versions. We've got the standard Enduro, and then we've got the brand new Enduro Pro, which is more of a performance style shock.
I like the look of that.
This Hilux, the customer wants to keep it at OE ride height. Both shocks will suit the vehicle from standard ride height up to 2-inch lift.
Okay.
But to try and keep that OE style ride quality, we're just going to run with the Enduros today.
Unreal. All right, Ben, so what's the first step today to getting this suspension in this Hilux?
Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is jack the vehicle up using a rated trolley jack. Obviously we've got some really heavy duty rated axle stands as well. Get those under the axle and then remove the wheels. Before we touch anything, the first thing we're going to do is actually mark where the alignment cam adjusters are on the lower control arm bolts. We're actually going to loosen those to drop the lower control arm away. Right. So at least when we finish putting everything back in, we can adjust it to its original setting.
A point of reference, yeah.
Exactly right.
Great,
yeah.
That's a really good tip.
So now we're just going to get the sway bar link off. We're going to take off this bottom mount here. So now we've got the sway bar link disconnected, and we're going to start jacking that lower control arm up, which is going to compress the spring back into its standard ride height position. And now we're going to start undoing some of the bolts to get it out. Now you can see the spring uncompressing there. Completely loose, no tension. Now what we're going to do is undo this lower bolt on the strut, and we can take that strut completely out of the vehicle. So you can obviously see the old original shock here. It's done some Ks. The bottom bush is actually flogged out. It's really off centre. It's been pushed up. The weld looks a little bit suspect here. Looks a little leaky. The top pin's been pitted. There's a bit of rust going on there. That's probably been rubbing through the top section of the housing there.
Well, it's pretty easy to see there's a massive difference between these two struts.
We run a bigger eye, much thicker eye compared to the OE one here. We also run a thicker sleeve here to reduce the rubber size, which stops this deformation of the bush. Much thicker peg, we've got reinforced welds, bigger bore, so they've got much higher oil capacity. So we're going to assemble the coil on the bench here.
Yep.
And we'll take it back to the car, and I'll just show you how easy it is.
Oh, this is the fun part, Ben, putting it all back together. So is this just a reversal of taking it to pieces?
You do exactly the same thing in reverse. You'll be blown away how easy this is. What we're going to do is basically get the whole strut assembly now. We put it back up into position. We'll bolt the lower pin through the bottom of the strut. We'll start to compress the spring by using the lower control arm with the trolley jack. Pin back up through the top, put the nut on, easy as that. Alright, so now we're just going to check that the adjuster cams haven't moved out of position. If they have, we've got that black mark, we can reset it and then we'll tighten up those nuts. Now we've got the strut fitted to the vehicle. Everything's bolted back up. We're just going to reattach the sway bar links on both sides. Alright Ev, there's only 2 steps to go.
Nice.
Put the wheels back on.
Yep.
Lower the vehicle on the ground. And then we've got to just tighten up those lower strut bolts and we're done. The very final step is we're now going to tension up the lower strut bolt and then we'll take it for a test drive.
So we got some dirt under the fingernails, but that was a really good day on the tools, and I think we spent all up
about an hour and a half per side, so 3 hours all up.
And now this owner's going to be riding on comfortable suspension for the next 2 years, 60,000 Ks covered under warranty.
Correct.
Now, where can the people at home find more information about your shock absorbers and the rest of your range?
Very straightforward. Go to drivetech4x4.com.au to find your nearest stockist.
Brilliant. All right, well, thanks for everything today. And next month, Ben and I are going to show you how to install and wire up a set of spotlights on your four-wheel drive. So you have to check that out in Unsealed 4x4 next issue.